So I'm going to be answering a question that I got on Twitter asking what hosting provider do I use for Node Server and PostgreSQL database. So I'm going to be answering what I did for my website Saffron. And to start off with, and what I've been using for the past couple of months has been DigitalOcean. So they give you a virtual private machine, and then you can do whatever you want on it. So I got like the $5 or the $10 one, I can't remember. And I think it was probably the $5 one, and I stuck both my server, Node Server, and my PostgreSQL both in that. But very recently, like the last 2 days, I switched over to a new provider. I switched over to this place called SSD Nodes. And I switched over to them for basically one reason only, and that is insane pricing. It's actually just insane. So this is what their pricing is right now. I don't know if it's just because they're their spring sale or they always price like this. But this one caught my eye, the top one, which for $10 you get 24 gigabytes of RAM, 120 gigabytes SSD, 4 CPU, and 12 terabytes of transfer. Now that's for $10 a month you get that. Now compare that to what I'm getting with DigitalOcean, which is for $5, or we can just do an equal comparison with $10. You're only getting 2 gigs of memory. That's the main one to look at, 1 CPU. 50 SSD, 2 terabytes of transfer. So you're getting quite a bit more with this. So I was very surprised by this. Someone mentioned me to try this out or check them out, and I did, and I was just pretty much shocked by this. And and they beat the price by so much that I knew something had to be up. I don't know what is up with it. The main thing that I saw, if you click on getting started, the main catch I noticed with it is over a long time. Like you have to commit to a big period of time. So for example, it requires a contract, well not a contract, you just pay upfront for 3 years or a whole year, and you'll notice the price gets crappy if you actually just pay monthly. Right? Because it's $100 a month, that's insane. But for $10 a month, it's an insane deal. So anyway, I have no idea what the quality of their actual virtual private machines are, and whether there's some other stuff that is in there that is gonna screw me over. I have no idea. Just switch the server over to them. So we'll see how it goes. But I went ahead and just for 3 years got the $10 a month one. So we'll see how it goes. I was a little concerned about my project outgrowing this size in 3 years. It is nothing near this amount of, basically it doesn't need this big of a computer right now at all, but I figured, and I was like, maybe in 3 years we'll be past it, but I figured if my project grows to a point where where we need more or a larger computer than this, I don't have much to worry about because we're successful, and it shouldn't be a problem. And I figured this will last for a while, and either way, I'll be able to put a whole bunch of stuff on this and use this virtual private machine for a whole bunch of stuff because it just has a lot of RAM. So yeah, so that's what I just switched to. I have no idea if it's actually good. I'm trying it out because the price is just insane. Yeah, I don't know if it's ending soon or whatever, but that's their spring sale. I saw this number the other day and it looked like it was ticking down. I don't know how long the spring sale is going to go for. But I don't really want to talk mainly about SS nodes in this video. More what I wanted to reference was why am I choosing to put this on a virtual private machine, say SSD nodes, say DigitalOcean, or whatever provider, whether that may be Linodes or Vulture. Why am I doing that versus, say, a managed database? So, for example, DigitalOcean provides this now. AWS provides it. Google provides it. I believe IBM. There's a whole bunch of places where basically you don't have to set up the database. Because with this, you do set up your own database. Like I handled installation and making sure it stays up and backups, all that stuff I'm handling. With this, the hosted services, you do not have to worry about all that stuff. But with that trade-off, you are paying more money. So the main reason why I haven't chose to go with the managed solution right now is because I figured I would do some of the things that are required. One, to learn how to actually do it, learn how it works. And two, you're going to get a better price just off the bat. So if we ignore SSD's insane pricing, of course I'm going to get way more RAM off this. But you get 1 gigabyte of RAM for $15 a month with the DigitalOcean one. So if we compare that, you can get a 1 gigabyte memory server and stick Postgres on it for $5 a month. So it's a better deal to go ahead and do this. And of course, this scales, and the bigger you get, the more it is you save using this. But at the same time, there are some benefits to using a managed database that are put onto you, and so it's something you really need to think about. So I thought in their article that they made, where they talk about the benefits of managed databases and announcing that they're doing managed databases, DigitalOcean outlines a few good points about what you're getting. So you don't have to worry about maintaining the database if you have it on, say, a managed database like DigitalOcean or Google Cloud or whatnot. Whatever, you don't have to worry about optimizing performance. Sure. I think the two ones that really for me are big reasons are things like being able to easily spin up a couple database nodes. That makes a lot of sense, and I think is really enticing, and not having to worry about my server just crashing or something, and then not having to worry about making sure the backup works, and having that all taken care of you is very enticing. And so I could see myself switching over to a managed database at some point, so I just don't have to worry about that at all. But as of right now, I've decided to just put it in a virtual private machine and just stick it in there. One, it's not too hard to set up, and it is a better price. And then maybe at some point, if I get to a point where it is very hard to upkeep the database, I may consider switching over to a managed database for those things. So anyway, that is where I'm currently hosting my stuff, and why I chose to go with a virtual private machine versus a managed database for that sort of thing. But this may change in the future. And basically, same argument with, say, using something like Heroku. I think Heroku could make a lot of sense where I don't have to maintain the uptime and stuff of my server. But as of right now, I kind of like handling it myself for a better price rather than using Heroku, but I may switch at some point.